Good evening, folks, and welcome to this week's episode of Beer Rating with Sean Connors. November 11th, 2020, here in Canada, known as Remembrance Day. I know in other parts of the world it's Remembrance Armistice Day, whatever the case may be. So I hope everybody got a chance to go out and pay their respects today. And with that being said, I'm going to dedicate this episode to all those who answered the call and served their countries, especially those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. So with that being said, I'll move on. Basically, if you follow me on a regular basis, a couple of months ago I bought, I think, 1.5 dozen beers. Random beers, different styles, different countries. And basically I put them in the fridge, and since then, most weeks I've just been sticking my hand in the fridge, and whatever I get, and just going with that. I believe I have 2 left. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe there's 2. I think there is one from a local brewery here in Newfoundland. And I believe that's an apricot ale. It might be an apricot wheat ale, I'm not too sure. The other one, I believe it's an imported beer. I believe possibly from Europe, and I believe it's a lager, but I'm not even sure. So basically, I think those are the only 2. There might be a third, but I don't think so. So basically, I'm going to stick my hand in the fridge. Whatever I get, and I'll crack it open and go from there. Alright, so I'm not even going to look as per usual. I think this is the apricot, just from the label, the feel of the label. And let's see what we got. Pretty sure this is the apricot. Obviously I can't read it, and there's nothing on the opposite side. I think this is the Secret Cove apricot something, I'm not even sure. Alright, yes, Secret Cove Brewing Company, which is out on the west coast of Newfoundland in Port-au-Port. It's an apricot wheat ale, and the name of the beer is Stay Home Beer, which seems to be a good name considering we're still in the pandemic and nobody can travel, nobody can pretty well do anything, so we're staying home. It's an independent-owned craft brewery located on the west coast of Newfoundland in the small town of Port-au-Port. It's unfiltered, so it's probably going to be a little bit cloudy. I got a picture of a fish here, I'm not sure why. That's about it. And Secret Cove Brewery, I believe it's only been open within the last couple of years, possibly only the last year or 2, I'm not 100% sure. I've had one of their other beers earlier this summer, can't remember what it was. I believe it was fairly enjoyable. This one and actually the other one I tried earlier, basically a friend of mine went to visit some family earlier this summer and she grabbed a couple of beers for me. So thanks, Carla. I'll crack this open. Now with that being said, what glass am I going to use? Normally with a wheat beer, you use a wheat beer glass. However, when Carla gave me the beer, she also gave me this cool little glass. Secret Cove Brewing Company, Port-au-Port. So it's not a... Obviously, it's design of like a can and got a good grip. So normally with a wheat ale, I'd have a wheat beer glass. But since I got a glass specifically from the brewery, I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to give it a quick cold water rinse, as per usual. And this is just rather than storing your glasses in a freezer, which is not recommended. They say basically just before you pour your beer, give your glass a quick rinse in cold water. Cools down the glass a little bit. Any dust or anything else, it gets rid of it, and it's, just a little final step in the cleaning process. So wheat ale, apricot wheat. And with that being said, apricots are not my favorite fruit, so I have to keep that in mind when I give my rating. Not that I don't like them, but it's just wouldn't be my go-to fruit. So a nice little golden color. It's not clear, but it's unfiltered, so that's to be expected. Got a nice little aroma. The head's not bad. Now normally wheat ales, you give substantial head, that's why they give you a fairly big glass. Not bad there, poured. There's still quite a bit of beer in the can. The foam itself actually has a little bit of a off-white tinge, almost like a yellow, so I don't know if that's from the apricot or not. The aroma, it's nothing overwhelming. It's a nice aroma. It's typical ale aroma, so I'm not getting a heavy hints of the apricot, which that's quite okay with me. Let's give it a taste. It's different. The taste is a little bit more stronger than the aroma. I was going to say overwhelming, but I wouldn't say that because it's not overwhelming, but it's more so than the aroma. The aroma I found was pretty gentle. Now with the taste, I mean, if you're one of these people that can tell the subtle differences and different things, unfortunately that's not me. You probably taste this and you go, oh my god, it tastes apricots right away. For me, I wouldn't be able to pinpoint that it's apricot, but there's obviously a different flavor than your traditional ale. It's not bad. I don't think it would be my favorite beer. If I seen it in the store, would I pick it up? After having one, probably not. I wouldn't go out of my way for it. However, if I was somewhere and somebody offered me a beer and this came with it, I'd drink it more than happy to drink it. Or if I was at the Secret Cove Brewery, I'd probably have one just to try it on tap or type of thing. But I don't think I'd go out of my way to pick one up. I don't think I'd pick up a 6-pack. But doesn't mean it's a bad beer, but it wouldn't be one of my top beers. But it is a good beer. And it's definitely got a bit of a unique flavor. Like I said, for me, if I didn't know what it was, I wouldn't know it's apricot, but I definitely know it's something unique. Which that's a plus as well. Now to give it a rating, my ratings are out of 5. Pretty sure right away I'm going to give this a 3. Not 100% sure, but that's where I'm leaning. But my rating's out of 5. A 1 is normally, or not normally, a 1 is a drain pour. What that means, I don't like it and I can't even finish it. Doesn't happen very often. I think I've had 2 beers since I started doing reviews that got a 1. A 2 would be, yeah, I'm not a fan of this beer, but I'm not going to waste it. It's drinkable, I'll finish it. A 3 would be a good beer. I'm enjoying it. I'll definitely finish it. I'll probably have another if it's available. A 4 would be a very good beer. Very much enjoying it. Can't wait to have another. And a 5 would be the best beer I've ever had. Hasn't happened yet. I had a couple of 4.5s, so that's about it. As I said, with this one I'm leaning towards a 3, but not 100% yet. Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with the 3.0, which means it's a good beer. Not a great beer, but definitely a good beer, one you should check out. Especially if you're here on the island, you know, support your local brewery. Give these guys a chance. They're fairly new. They got some interesting beers. And by all means, you should check it out. So here you go, folks. Secret Cove Brewing Company's, their Stay Home Beer, Apricot Wheat Ale 3.0. Until next brew, hopefully you can join me next week. We'll crack open, I believe, the last one. Let me check. Yes, there's one more there. So I got, and after that, I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do. I'm hoping to get the advent calendar for December, but not available yet. So we'll see what we have. So folks, cheers. And remember to say, lest we forget,